Hey y'all. Mwah. So I've been out getting my little eyebrows done, which ain't many up there. Y'all see it ain't many, but they arched up there. I draw on them and then they look better. And get my little nails done today or whatever. Cause I've been had the other ones on for so long. Y'all be hating to go to the nail shop like and sit in there for so long. So sometimes it just take me a minute to go in there. But today we gonna talk about me. We gonna talk about me and my story. Um, to let inform people that think I'm on here just to bash or talk about somebody. I have a story probably horrible than a lot of people, so I can't bash anyone. But another portion of my story. Okay, we was on live on Facebook the other night, and I said, what topics would y'all like to talk about? And y'all said relationships and molestation. So my story kind of go with molestation, and we can talk about molestation deeper. I come live and we can talk about it, and y'all can say what y'all got to say or whatever. Just comment up under this video. But as I was talking about my story the last time, you guys, I didn't tell y'all. I just been telling y'all bits and pieces. They ain't in no type of order, but I'm telling you bits and pieces or whatever. But molestation. When I was about 4, I think I was about 4, and my dad, he would come pick us up, take them. We go spend the night with him or whatever. But this one time he came and picked us up, like early in the morning before he had to take me home. I remember him picking me up out of my bed. I'm sleeping and he picked me up out the bed, takes me to a front couch or something. I'm half asleep and he molested me. He's sticking his, molesting me, raping me basically. And my mom always been a bold type person. I never been scared to tell or say something. So when he did that, I was not afraid to tell my mom. I went straight and I told my mom. Soon as he dropped me off, I told my mom that he had did all of that, and she sent him on to prison. She sent him straight to prison. Um, so and behind molestation, it brings so much anger into you. It makes you be real sexual. You be want to do so many. You real sexual. It makes you real sexual. You think that this down here. It makes you think that this down here is what hold men. You know what I'm saying? After you've been molested, you start being real sexual, and you think that is the best thing in the world, and it can keep a man. But that down there don't keep no man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how good it is. You can be the best thing as a whole, as a woman, and it won't keep a man. You can work that 40-hour job. You can come home, take care of him real good. You can do all of these things. You can be looking good. Good money. You doing everything you're supposed to do, and it won't keep a man. But after being molested, it put anger in you, bitterness in you, and your sexuality. It gets strong, and it really puts in your head that this is good. So I can go sleep with somebody and just get in their head. But that ain't how it works. Well, if I sleep with him, then he'll stay with me. But that ain't how it works. But I did, and my dad did molest me at the age of 4, my own dad. Then turn around, as I got older, I got, I think I was like 16. And for me to have some help, I didn't have any help, but for me to have some help, or if I needed something, I was struggling so bad. If I needed something, I would have to have sex with him just to get whatever I needed. Anything I needed, I would have to have sex with him to get it. It was bad, y'all. But I never hated him, y'all. I never hated him. I was hurt. I was angry. I was a lot of things. But I never hated him. I just, even when he got sick, I still went and tried to help take care of him and all that. But it put a lot of anger in me. So with that being said, with all that anger got inside of me, I would be very defensive towards people, because the people that were supposed to have been loving me the most were hurting me the most. So I started being defensive towards everybody. I just had this anger. So with that anger, I'm going to tell you where it led me to. That anger led me to be incarcerated for 8 years. That's what the anger led me to. From me going through with my family and going through so much abuse, the love, I was like, don't nobody love. No, don't nobody love me. You know what I'm saying? So I end up becoming incarcerated because I was at a job one day. And I wasn't bothering nobody. I was nice to this girl. She was a desk clerk. I was very nice to her, y'all. Very nice to her. If she needed something and she didn't have the money to get it, I would get it for her. If she couldn't leave the desk to go get it, I would go get it for her. But one day, the owner of the motel came in, and I was standing behind the front desk, putting the key back up, because I was just a hostess, a breakfast bar hostess. So I was standing behind the desk when he walked into the motel. I'm putting the key back in, and he just told the girl, he said, train her behind the front desk. That's what he did. He just walked in and said, train her behind the front desk. So she started to train me behind the front desk, but when he told her that, I guess a jealousy came in her heart or something, because we had been all right. But once he told her that, she just started picking and picking and picking and picking and picking. And I'm like, I didn't understand why she was picking, but I kept on like ignoring it. I would be out there mopping the lobby or something. She'll come out away from behind the desk, and she'll walk on the floor, just keep walking. And she say, "You see them footprints?" She'll put footprints down and make me have to keep remopping, and I have to stop. I have to stop mopping and just leave it alone, because she'll be trying to start something with me. So this one particular day I come in, after all I had done, I had gone to the head boss and told them about him. They were like, well, she done started with everybody, this, that, and another, you know. So I had prayed about it. Nothing helped, y'all. So I went on in the back kitchen. I was back there cleaning my dishes so I can get ready to go. She kept picking, so I had called my husband. I was like, can you come on pick me up? I didn't drive my car that particular day, which I wish I had. But I didn't, because I would have just went on and dropped the job, didn't finish. I would have clocked out and just left. So I went back there and washing my dishes and stuff, and she came and just blocked me off. She just came and blocked me off at the door. She went and looked in the laundry room, see where anybody back there. She knew our boss was out on the property. She closed the laundry room door, come and block me off in the kitchen. There wasn't no other way out the kitchen, because it was just a little small spot where you can go in and wash dishes and stuff like that. So I walked to the door to see if she was still standing there with her hand covering the door. She was just standing in the door, covering the whole door. So I went and looked past her to see if my husband was out there yet. He wasn't there, but when I went and looked, she need me. And I told her, I said, girl, I said, today ain't that day. I said, I'm telling you, I'll let you make it. Just leave me alone now. So I already knew in my mind and in my heart I wasn't coming back to that job no more, because I knew she was trying to make me, go off. So I went back over to the kitchen sink, finished doing what I was doing. I was reading the newspaper. I had this little old bitty knife in my hand. In my pocket. I had a little bitty knife in my smock. It was like a little steak knife. So the next time I walked back towards her to see if my husband was out there, she grabbed me around my neck and just went to choking me. So from there, I just started fighting. The next thing I know, I had went in that smock. Everything went black. I had went in that smock, and I just had stabbed. And I heard her scream. She screamed one time. And when I heard her scream that one time, I just jumped back. I ran. I got my purse. I threw the knife down. By the time I looked up, my husband was sitting out there. So I ran and jumped in the car. And I told him I just stabbed this girl. I didn't know where I stabbed her at. I didn't see no blood. My eyes just went black. I don't know. She had picked at me so much. I had just lost my mama. I had just lost my closest cousin. My closest cousin. I had just lost these people and I think one more of my cousin. So I had lost like 3 people. And it was like within a few months' time, I was just losing people. You know what I'm saying? So I ran to the car and I told my husband, I said, I just stabbed this girl. Just take me home. So he took me to his mom's house instead, because he knew the police were going to be looking for me. So they had called me on the phone, and they asked me about the situation. And I told them, yeah, I did. I said, but I was protecting myself. The girl was choking me and kicking me and kneeing me for nothing. I said, I was just protecting myself. She would not leave me alone. I said, I already been to the manager. I talked to everybody. So today was the day I was going to quit, but I didn't get a chance to. So I end up going to his mom's house. I talked to his mom. My nerves bad. I ain't never been in this situation like this before, So then I finally went home. They left me alone for that day because I did admit to them. So they didn't even come to my house and try to even bother me. They called me on the phone the next morning, and they said, can you come in? And I was like, yeah, but I'm hearing them in the background getting a SWAT team ready just in case I say no. And I got my children in the house. No, y'all not finna come bust my door down with my kids in this house. So I said, yeah. And I got up, I got dressed. It was on my baby birthday, my oldest daughter's birthday, July the 7th. I got up, I got dressed, and we went on up there. I asked him where they gonna keep me, and he told me it's according to what I told him. So I told him what the story was, what happened, how she was picking and hitting on me, and I'm trying to just leave and go home. But he still ended up locking me up. I stayed in there a few days, and then they OR'd me out because I had never had a traffic ticket or got in trouble, period, no kind of way. I had never done it, you know. So they OR'd me out. I ain't have to pay no bond because the bond was like $50,000 at first, but then they OR'd me out. So then now I got this charge on me, and they trying to keep it from going to trial because they knew that I was telling the truth. So they was trying to keep it from going to trial, but they still end up indicting me. But I'm gonna tell you, God was with me through that whole process. It was a hard process. It hurt me so bad because I was so nice to that girl, y'all. I would do anything for her. So, and for her to take me away from my kids, it hurt me so bad. So when they did indict me, the sheriffs it's just like they knew what it was about. So they didn't even come pick me up. What they did was call me at my job and told me they had the papers to pick me up. Told me to go and get a bail bondsman and just come on down, turn myself in. I'm just gonna do a walkthrough and take a picture, and then they're gonna let me back out because I already got they called me ahead of time, y'all. They didn't come just pick me up at my job, and that God was with me through this whole situation, y'all. And that's what happened. My dad got me a bail bondsman, and we paid the money. They walked me through, and I came on back out, you know. So the trial was gonna be in September. They was trying to get me just do a plea, and I wish I had, because I ended up not doing that plea and ended up going to trial. The trial was in September, and they ended up giving me 17 years. And I ended up doing 8 of those years away from my children. But I just didn't understand. I didn't understand why, you know, I've been good to this girl, why she would do me like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not close to people. I don't get real close to people, because people will do you dirty. They'll do you bad. But I thank God that he keep me with a good heart. He don't let my heart just go bad on people like it really can go on them. You know what I'm saying? After all that people have done to me. But yeah, I just had to come on and tell that part of the story. And I want to tell that part of the incarcerate everything because it's sitting on my chest heavy. But I did my 8 years, y'all, and God was there for me the 8 years that I did. I did my 8 years, and I got out, I got home, and that's when all the abuse started with my husband. Me going through abuse with my husband, and him turning the kids on me, and him treating me like I was a child, and I'm not a child, you know what I'm saying? But that's how he would treat me. If I would tell the children they can do something, they couldn't do it with him. Or if I'm gone to work or something, my children be calling me, they hungry. He telling them they can't go in the kitchen and get no food or something like that. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I just buy food and put in there, my own food and put in there so that they can eat when they get ready. I do that, then he still tell them they can't go in the refrigerator. They sitting there, they can't have no water, they can't have no food, no nothing. So I have to sneak on my job, get some food, and run to the house and take them something to eat. Or when I get ready to get off, I just get something and take them something to eat. Man, I just went through it in that relationship, man. I went through it. I'm telling y'all, every day I came in, it was bad. Every day. It wasn't about the hitting on. He wasn't hitting on me. It was just the mental and the physical abuse. And the spiritual, I just was dead. I just was walking dead. That's what I was. So I hate when women stay in an abusive relationship, but sometimes they can't get out. They mind be gone. Sometimes you don't even know you being abused. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't even know you being abused. Because that kind of abuse, I did not know. I thought he was just going through something at work. So I would always say, well, maybe going through something at work. You know, just making excuses for him. I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? And, but one day I was sitting on the bed and God said, no. God, it was like a light bulb clicked up there. And he told me, God said, look up abuse. That's the only thing he told me. So I looked up abuse. Another word came up, narcissist. So I started reading that. Because I ain't never know nothing about that. So I started reading everything. I was like, shoot, he got all this. He do all of this stuff. And I was like, and it thankful that God did this, because I had started having panic attacks and everything. And I didn't even know what those were. I did not know what panic attack were. Yeah, I looked up the word abuse and narcissist popped up. And let me tell you what a narcissist is. A narcissist, a disorder in which a person has an inflated sense of self-importance. It's all about them. All about them. Everything was about him. Everything was about him. Narcissistic personality disorder is found more commonly in men. The cause is unknown, but likely involves a combination of genetic and environmental factors. And they evil is all get out. They'll play so nice. They'll give people stuff. They'll do stuff for you. Like, but when behind closed doors, man, it's a whole different ball game. I'm telling you, they'll make you commit suicide if you ain't strong enough to stand. They'll make you want to kill yourself. You'll get tired of living because you won't feel alive nowhere around. They've been told you down so bad. See, they love bomb you. They love bomb you first. They start loving on you first and doing everything for you that you would ever want somebody to do for you. And then once they get you, they start tearing you down and stuff. They start ghosting you. They'll ghost you and all of that. See, he never got a chance to ghost me because we were married. So he never got a chance to ghost me. But the silent treatment, the love bombing, the tearing down, you know, all of that. I went through some things, y'all, I'm telling you. It broke me and broke me and broke me. Until one day I couldn't do nothing else. They are self-centered, arrogant thinking and behavior, lack of empathy and consideration for other people, and an excessive need for admiration. Others often describe people with NPD as cocky, manipulative, selfish, patronizing, and demanding. In their head, they God. They're God. You gotta praise. I tell them in a minute now. I don't praise God enough. You think I'm gonna praise a human? I gotta praise God before I praise you, cause He take care of me every day. He brought me through that situation, y'all. Cause it was horrible. It was horrible. But he turned my kids against me. And they pretty much didn't respect me after that because they watched him treat me like a child. I couldn't get out the situation. I'm just getting out of prison. And I'm trying to figure out I'm working jobs. I'm doing everything I can so I can get out of that situation. I got out of it, then I have to go back to it because I have a shelter help me. You know, the shelter got me an apartment paid for, but then they stopped from out the blue paying for the apartment. I ain't even know. So God just spoke to me one day. I was coming from work, and God said, go check and make sure your rent paid. I used to never go check and see if it paid because I knew they would normally do what they supposed to do. But He told me that one day after I got out of work, so I went to the office and I checked to see what was my rent paid. The lady said, no, they ain't paid. Now this all the way on already. It's already like the 5th. So I called them and I'm like, why y'all didn't pay the rent? I don't know what's going on. They say because I wasn't communicating, but I was. I had got a ticket and everything trying to come. And I wasn't living here at the time in Pearl. I was living in Jackson then, but I had came to Pearl because that's where they were located. And I had got a ticket, got my car towed and everything trying to come down here and communicate with them because Pearl police is really bad. My husband had dropped my insurance and I didn't know. So when the cops stopped me and I couldn't show proof of insurance, then he just told me to get out the car and get somebody to come get me. You know, and I had to go pay like $400 some the next day to get my car back or whatever. But yeah, that's my story about the molestation, about the abuse. Y'all, it's one night I was I had, from the anger of all I had been through, y'all, one night I was out. I just left. I was with my oldest child dad. He had made me mad, y'all. So I had just got my stuff and I just started walking. I was going to walk all the way to my mama's house. It was dark outside with night. I was going to walk all the way to my mama's house. So I started walking. Then this truck came up and there was a line of cars behind that truck. And he kept on saying, just get in, I'll take you. And then I was like, no. I kept saying no. Then I was like, you know what, okay. So I'm like, well, just let me drive. And it was a stick shift. So I couldn't drive no stick shift. So he let me drive and he showed me how to do it, but he told me to turn off and I shouldn't have never turned off. When he got me in a dark part, y'all, he waited till he got me in a dark part and that part of the street, and then he let the truck cut out. So I'm looking, I'm like, why the truck cut? He was like, well, just let me get back over there. So this is his trick. So by the time I walk around the car, because I'm not knowing nothing finna go on, by the time I get in inside the truck, he got a gun to my head. By the time I sat down in the seat. And then he just took me somewhere else. He raped me. And then I just kept praying and talking my way out of it. God got me out of it, y'all. I thought I talked my way out of it because at the time, I didn't know much about God. But God, because where he had me at, nobody would have never found me. It took them a long time to find me. But he took me way somewhere and raped me. And I just kept talking and talking and talking. I was like, sure, we can go out tomorrow and hang out, man. We ain't got to be like this. We can go chill. I just kept talking until he took me back. And he dropped me way off. And it was in the middle of a big old dark parking lot. And it was a police way out there on the street. And I yelled out to the police. I was like, hey, You know what I'm saying? I yelled. And that police heard me. I'm talking about the police were way over there. He heard me and seen me in this big old dark parking lot. I wish I could show y'all how big the parking lot is, how far away I was from this police officer. But he heard me. They caught the dude, but I was so young and I ain't really had no support that I went to the hospital that night, did what I was supposed to do, and they called him. But I was so young, I didn't know what to do that I couldn't even get him locked up because I never went to the court date. So y'all, when people think that I'm bashing them, I'm not bashing them. I just see some things and mistakes that I made when I was younger that I wish I never made, and it'll cost you. If you don't go on and stop now, it's gonna cost you. Cause it costed me later on in my life. It costed me. It will cost you later on. You think, oh, I'm just doing it right now. It's gonna be all right. It ain't gonna be all right. Cause you start getting out here running raggedy from the beginning. In the end, when you really want to get yourself together, it's gonna cost you more than you want to pay. And all this stuff have cost me more than I want to pay. Just because I was going through so much at home that my anger just built up inside of me, and I just started doing stuff. I started being defensive. Cause I always had a good heart. But I was so angry and so hurt about everything I was around, dysfunctional family, this and that. I was so hurt that when you say something to me, I just say what I gotta say. But the thing about me being locked up, and I know I'm all over the place, but the thing about me being locked up, I said what good God did. I was mad at God, and I was so angry with him because he knew that girl had started with me. But I had to go lose my kids for 8 years. But I feel like God took me through that situation for a reason, y'all. For a reason. It helped me to calm down. He started answering a lot of questions about my mama that I need to know. A lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it just helped me to calm down and let people do what they do. Let them say what they want to say. I ain't finna go back and forth and argue with you. I'm just gonna get away from around you. That's just gonna be what it is. Say what you gotta say about me. Oh well. You know what I'm saying? But I love y'all. I had to come on here and tell y'all that much. I probably talk about some more. But those was the part that I was scared to tell you guys. But I'm selling it and I'm finna upload this. I love y'all. I hope y'all having a blessed day. And I hope y'all get something out of this video. Mwah.